Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV. Today, we're talking about demonstrating vulnerability. Are you ready? Let's get started. Demonstrating vulnerability? Is that what I'm really asking you? Are you saying, but are you asking yourself, why do I even want to be vulnerable? Is that even something I want to do? Well, that's worthy of an episode of Remarkable TV, which is why I've already shot that one. So over my shoulder, you can see a link, a picture of me, and a link to when we talked about that. I hope you go watch that. So I'm not going to spend time today convincing you why vulnerability is important. Just suffice it to say this, that when we are willing to be vulnerable, we have the chance to be more real and more personable with folks, and they're more likely to want to follow us. And if we're a leader, don't we really want people to choose to follow? Of course we do. So given that, what are some things that we can do to demonstrate vulnerability? Once we've decided we're gonna, how can we? The first one is be willing to admit a mistake.
I'm sorry. So sorry. Please accept my apology.
Listen, you're making mistakes, right? And if your team doesn't think, first of all, if you're making them, your team's probably seeing them. And if you're not bringing them up, then they're just thinking you're strange. And if you're trying to hide them, then they either think you're too careful or too cocky. So none of that's in your best interest. Much better off to share an honest mistake that you made as a learning opportunity. It provides a chance for others to then open up and share their mistakes as well. There's a lot of advantages that can come from that. There's a lot of chances for innovation and problem solving that can come from that, not the least of which happens simply because you were willing to make the mistake and show that you are vulnerable. The second thing we can do to demonstrate our vulnerability is to let people know that we're uncertain. Yes, as leaders, we have to make decisions. And it's okay to make a decision and to not feel like it's 100% a slam dunk. It's okay to share with the team, like, this is the decision we're going to go for. And we're going to go for it. We're going to go 110% toward it, but I want you to know that there are risks. And I want you to know that, it was a hard decision for me. That's the vulnerability part. And when you're willing to share that, then people are more willing to say, okay, let's overcome. Okay, I can believe in Kevin. Let's go. Well, or your name in that case. So don't be afraid to share uncertainty and expose some risk. That's another way to be vulnerable. And the third way that you can demonstrate your vulnerability is to ask for help. Listen, as a leader, you don't have to be perfect. Good thing. And as a leader, you don't have to be the Lone Ranger. Good thing. Be willing to ask for help. Asking others for help not only gets you better results, not only gives other people the chance to be engaged, and not only gives other people a chance to learn something from you, but it's a way for you to show your vulnerability. So being willing to be vulnerable is a good thing. It's going to help us in lots of ways. But there's at least one thing we want to avoid in this regard. Because what I'm not saying here, and if you're listening and you're thinking, but wait a minute, Kevin, here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying to let it all hang out. I'm not saying you tell everybody everything. I'm not saying you put your financials on your blog, on a blog post. I'm not saying that you tell everybody everything. I am saying that those members of your team that are close to you and that are your inner circle or your team in general, be willing to share some things with them. Let them know that I'm sharing this with you, not so you can share it as well, but so that we are all on the same page. TMI, too much information, is really a disease. Don't catch it. You don't need to tell everybody everything to be more vulnerable. All you have to do is to be willing to admit a mistake, say you're sorry, be willing to show your uncertainty even when you're making decisions, and be willing to ask for help. You do those things, you're going to make a big difference for you and your team. You're going to become more vulnerable, and you're going to build connection, trust, and give people another reason to choose to follow you. Here's today's tweet. Vulnerability can create connection, build trust, and allow us to lead. Stop being scared and go for it. If you want to be a more effective leader, then I'd encourage you to join us for an upcoming Remarkable Leadership Workshop. In this interactive, fun, engaging, practical workshop, we bring together a small group of people with me where we learn together how to be a more effective leader. We talk about a number of leadership skills, and we dive deep into ideas like this about being willing to be vulnerable, about being willing to be accountable, and 100 other things to make us a more effective leader. And the workshop always becomes a part of what the people in the group need. I hope you'll join us in a future workshop. I look forward to having you there, and you can get all the information right here on this page. But before you go, I'd like you to share your comments, questions, and thoughts below. If you agree or disagree with me, I hope you'll share that below. And if that leads to us needing to answer a question for you, I'll reach out and do it. If that leads us to another episode in the future, I'll do that too. Thanks for joining us. I look forward to talking to you soon on the next episode of Remarkable TV.